Good day, students, and welcome to Advocate Bapusaheb Bunde High School digital class. Today we will study Standard 9th, Chapter 9, Changing Life 1. So far, we have studied the period from the year 1961 to 2000. The speed of change in the 20th and the 21st century has been tremendous. Human life is changing rapidly. Things which we could not have even imagined earlier are now a part of reality. In ancient and medieval periods, religion was an important part of person's identity. Now, modernization has posed some challenges before all religions, be it Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, or Judaism. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar brought about a sea change in our traditional mindset. He brought it about through the medium of the Indian Constitution. According to our Indian Constitution, all Indians are equal before the law and they cannot be discriminated against on the basis of religion, race, caste, gender, or place of birth. All citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assemble peacefully without arms, freedom to form associations, freedom to move, freedom to live and settle down anywhere on Indian territory, and to practice any occupation. Indian citizens living anywhere in India enjoy the right to nurture their language, script, and culture. These provisions in the Constitution shook the foundations of the caste system. It helped to make the practice of vocations running in the family obsolete. Do you know that during the British era there were four kinds of compartments in the railway train? The first, second, inter, and the third class. Nominal facilities for the passengers travelling by third class and the negative attitude towards them was almost a symbol of the Indian social hierarchy. In the 1978 railway budget, Madhu Dandavate put an end to this third class. Later, two trains were started which had no class divisions, namely Sinhagad Express on the Pune Mumbai route and Gitanjali Express on the Mumbai Kolkata route. Thus began a series of minor and major changes in the society. Now, anyone can go into a restaurant irrespective of his religion, race, caste, or gender. In fact, we see boards outside the restaurants welcoming all. Another significant change during the post independence period is the right to express opinion against the government. Earlier, there were limits on expressing any opinion against political rulers. Now, in India, citizens can register their protest against the policies of the government through newspaper, speeches, or other media. The institution of the family. During the pre independence period, the institution of family was an important identifying feature of Indian society. India was known all over the world as the country of joint families. However, the wave of globalization has now given an impetus to the system of nuclear families. Social welfare. The objective to establish the welfare state has been incorporated in the constitution itself. India is the first country in the world to do so. The social welfare programs aims to make opportunities for full-time employment, health care, education and development available to all Indian citizens. Indian society is riddled with the large scale economic, social, educational, and cultural inequalities. However, it is necessary that the opportunities for development reach women, children, the differently abled, the scheduled caste, and tribes as well as other minorities. This was the greatest challenge facing the government during the post independence period. That is why, on 14th June 1964, the Government of India constituted the Ministry of Social Welfare. Under this ministry, various programs are implemented for nutrition and child development, social security and social protection, women's welfare and development. A similar arrangement exists at the state level too. Scheduled caste and tribes. According to the 1971 census, 22% people in India belong to scheduled caste and tribes. Laws were enacted so that they got educational scholarships and representation in parliament as well as state assemblies. Some seats are also reserved for them in government services. Public health. The Constitution of India states that the primary duty of the government is to raise the people's standard of living, to ensure proper nutrition, and to improve public health. The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare at the center helps the state governments in this regard. To make primary health services as well as medical care available to rural people, the tribals, and the poor was an objective of the sixth five-year plans. Efforts were made towards helping people maintain good health by giving recognition to homeopathy, Ayurveda, and naturopathy in addition to allopathy. Process in the medical field has made the life of Indians relatively free for health concerns. In 1962, the first successful open heart surgery was performed under the leadership of Dr. N. Gopinathan at Christian Medical College Hospital at Vellore in Tamil Nadu. Hence, it is no longer necessary to go abroad for such treatments. Similarly, the invention of the Jaipur food has transformed the lives of the disabled in India. Before 1968, if a person lost a leg in an accident, he had to suffer the rest of his life. In order to remedy the situation, Dr. Pramod Sethi designed and manufactured artificial limbs, noses, and ears with the help of the skilled craftsman Ramachandra Sharma. The artificial body parts manufactured with the help of Jaipur food technology have made it easy for the differently able to walk barefoot on rough surface, run, go cycling, work in the fields, climb trees, and even climb mountains, etc. They save on the expenses on shoes as there is no need for footwear on these artificial limbs. They can bend their legs at the knees and sit crossed legs. These feet are also convenient while working in water or wet conditions. Kidney transplant. Since this surgery can now be performed in India, doctors have succeeded in saving patients' life. Such surgeries were not so common in India till 1971. But in 1971, it was successfully performed at the Christian Medical College Hospital at Vellore in Tamil Nadu. Dr. Johnny and Dr. Mohan Rao transplanted the kidney donated by a living person into the patient's body. Nowadays, patients from underdeveloped countries come to India for such surgeries. So I hope you have understood the lesson up till now. We will meet back again with the remaining points of the same lesson. Till then, thank you and have a wonderful day.